This week's safety toolbox is on hand and arm protection. I have a nice text here and it talks about these bad boys. Whether you're a laborer, carpenter, bricklayer, tuck pointer, steel erector, no matter what you are, if you're into trades, you need these two hands, right? And they need to be kept healthy. I've argued with tradesmen now for 18 years. I'm a concrete guy by trade. In the beginning, first 5 years or so, I never wore gloves. I ended up with all kinds of open slivers in my hands, calluses, and the concrete and cementatious products I was using seemed to have burned and hurt my skin. Now, I know that most tradesmen claim they can't wear gloves. It's a lot of different types of gloves. I've just got a few pairs in front of me. But let's think about our hands. If I'm using an epoxy and I'm reading it and it says burns the skin, I need to wear an appropriate glove so that I don't burn my skin. And then once again, my skin is like a sponge. Any chemical that I'm using goes right through my skin and into my bloodstream. That's a hazard in itself. But if I'm hammering, I'm grinding, so on and so forth, a pair of gloves can be very, very beneficial. What am I wearing here? Do you know that Berglund in the past 3 seasons has had 2 veteran tradesmen mishaps with grinders, cutting metal of all things, and the grinder got caught up and jumped. In one case, the blade shattered. Our gentleman was wearing a face shield, but he ended up lacerating his wrist significantly and breaking it. It was a lost time injury. More recently, we had another tradesman actually get caught up and bound, and the grinder took off and caught him in the wrist area and almost hit an artery. It was a light duty release with that gentleman. Hand and arm protection. We don't discuss it enough, and our tradesmen seem to think that they'll be fine working 35, 40 years in the industry without it. Our policy has now become these arm sleeves or Kevlar sleeves when we're doing something with abrasive wheels, just so we understand that. But there comes a time in your life where you need to start considering saving these bad boys, stopping the lacerations to the hands and the possible dismemberment by our equipments. Let's make sure our equipments always have the guards on them. Mini grinders, skill saws, just to name a couple. This week, let's cover our text on hand and arm protection, and let's have a safe week. Thank you.